Sisters of the shining moon, heaven, earth, and sea, I call upon you in this hour, bring magic unto me. Brothers, oh, the cauldron cries, it singeth unto me the songs of Mother Goddess and the Father in the tree.
Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. Hope you guys have had a fabulous Labor Day weekend here in the States. And if you're not in the U.S., I totally get it. I hope you're just having a good weekend in general, because, yeah, you should have a good weekend. Everybody should have a good weekend. By the way, I do have a 3-cent video in the works. I just got to do a quickie edit, and we'll be good to go. And because I work retail. Retail is such a good time. Actually, no, I love my job. Just there are some love our customers as much as I want to. Because, yeah, the stuff. Anyways, we are being broadcast live tonight, of course, from Truth Frequency Radio, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live. And if you're over in YouTube world, hit the thumbs up button if you like the show. Subscribe if you want to hear about it when we're going live again. Or in that bell if you want an alert. Because, yeah, everybody needs an alert. No matter how you are hearing me, make sure you stop in and say hi. Either in the chat room or send me an email at wildpaisley@gmail.com. That's WILDEPAISLEY@gmail.com. And if you want to support the show, please do so. You can go to etsy.com/shop/Monarch Mountain Studio. That's MTN for mountain. Or you can go to patreon.com/the-spaces-between. And I do want to suggest you check out iLife.com. iLife is the official sponsor of Truth Frequency Radio. And just a banging awesome product. So check it out. And then call line is open tonight. And you can, if you want to share your thoughts or opinions or have a question, please give me a shout at 213-233-3998. Or if you're across the pond in the UK, it's 44203-393-2871. And Bomber, yes, I will do more singing bowl tonight. I am flying solo. Mr. Don, as you know from Paranormal Portal, has got a fantabulous schedule, and I will not be here this evening. Hopefully, he's getting some rest and not listening in on YouTube. But you never know. And for those of you in fire season or fire danger, please be safe. I know here locally we had one spring up last night, and it didn't burn too awful many acres, but definitely did contribute to the air quality. It's our first one for the season. A little late in the season, but I'm okay with that. Hopefully, things will calm down. So, in the chat rooms, I see we've got Lucky and Pharmacy Seeds Network and Ruthie C. And by the way, if I don't say hello, I'm not ignoring you. I just didn't see you. But it's not Aussie Tiger, Bummer, Cameron, Chris Jarvis, Eclectic Clarity, Justin Goodearth, Lewis, and YTFP Chris. And there may have been somebody else in there. Regla Girl, hi. Bomber. I see, yes. Oh, Eclectic Clarity, hello. Yeah, I think that's everybody. Hi. Oh, Elaine and Aussie, so hi. Yes. The phone line is working. Hopefully. The doggone will better be. It looks like it's working. I guess we'll find out if somebody calls in. Let's see. Later this evening, we will hear from Naysay. As you may not know, Naysay served in the military forces here in the U.S. and unfortunately was injured, and things have not been the same since. And about 20 years ago, he did a trip across the state of Minnesota, in his chair and in his wheelchair, and to raise awareness and funding and such for his disability. And in honor of that 20th anniversary, he's going to be doing the same grand adventure. So he'll call in a little bit later and talk a little bit about his mission and why he's doing it. Because, yeah, I mean, that's an adventure to go across anywhere for very far in a wheelchair, because they're not the world's most comfortable of things. So, but yeah, he will hopefully be able to call in after a bit and just give us some more information. So, happy thoughts towards him, healing thoughts, and yeah, celebrate our heroes. Those in the armed forces, gosh darn, they go into harm's way like nobody's business. And it's it's a serious commitment to put your life on the line, regardless of what the politics are or anything like that. So if that's the choice you make, yeah, by golly, you are a hero. And because you're willing to step up to the plate when many people can't or won't. And so yeah, so thank you for your service, all of you, service members. Let's see, call-in number 213-233-3998 here in the U.S., or if you're across the pond in the U.K., it's 44203-393-2871. Unfortunately, it is not 1-800-PAISLEY, although I'm going to have to look into it and see if that's an available number, because I like that number. Yes, Lucky is another veteran. Thank you very much, Lucky, for your service. Again, yeah, stepping up to the plate like no... Oofa. Oive, that's another word. Oofta, depending on where you're at. So, yeah. Yeah, very brave. And, bravery, that comes in all sorts of colors, shapes, sizes, and commitments. And it's... that's part of the reason why I wanted to talk about heroes last night, is because heroes often are not the big flashy Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman types. No, heroes are really truly Lois Lane, Clark Kent. They're the little quiet ones, the ones that are not flashy and showing off, like, It's the quiet voices. Oh, goodness gracious me. I do have a caller, and hopefully the phones are working. So, this is Paisley Wild. Thank you for calling in to the Spaces Between.
G'day, Paisley. It's Aussie Tiger, eh?
Hey, Aussie. How you doing?
Good. I know she's going to be talking about chakras tonight.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to start tonight with the Root Chakra, the grounding one, and work our way up and just see how it goes. And hopefully, I will have enough material to keep everybody entertained and occupied. So, but yes, the phone lines are working.
Well, if we're starting from the Root Chakra, then I'll call in later when you're talking about the Heart Chakra, because that's the one I need help with.
The one you need help with? Okay. Very cool. I will note it down. I'll be talking about, unblocking and clearing and some different grounding techniques too. So, just because, you know what?
Well, that's definitely something I need. Definitely need to unblock it.
Right now in the world that we live in, we need all the help we can get.
Yep. Right, I'll call back later when you're talking about the Heart Chakra.
All right. Thanks, Aussie.
All right.
All right. Bye. So, yes, everyone, the phone lines are working. So, whoop, whoop. So, I'm going to start with a little bit of an intro, and then the information I'm drawing from is from chakras.info. and I'll include the link in the show notes, because you know what? They have quite a bit of information in there, and I don't want you to just take my word for it. Do your own research, because, by golly, there's a lot out there regarding the chakras. Just the basics, The chakras, the 7 primaries, are the main energy centers of the human body. The first chakra, or the Muladhara, or the root chakra, represents our very foundation. It binds us to the earth, and it gives us stability. It's our base, our anchor, the foundation. It's where things, start. And this chakras are sequential. In a way, think of a witch's hat with a cone, with the peak. Oh, golly gee whiz. Hold on. I hear the dog kind of freaking out. One moment. While I... There we go. Gotta love when the dogs bark. So, when we reach the root chakra, it begins to open up the energy for us, and that grounding and clarity and confidence. We pave the way for the other chakras to begin to open and have that energy flow through us. Now, it is an energy wheel, so everything's spinning, and it's got to be working in, think of like a clock. A good clock works just fine if all the wheels and gears are spinning correctly. And you got to have that very, very solid foundation. So starting with the root chakra, we're just gonna start there. And yes, if you have questions, pop up and ask. All right. So with the root chakra, again, it's the very foundation. Just, if you've ever built a structure or set a post or anything like that, that, the base has to be good and solid for everything to be built upon it. I mean, think of a skyscraper. If they didn't have a real foundation, it'd tip over and fall faster than the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Really, truly. And with the root chakra, it supports us in growing and feeling safe. And in feeling safe, it allows us to explore other aspects of life. Whether it's safety or security, physical or regarding our bodily needs, or even metaphorical, regarding housing or finances or anything like that. That root chakra is really doggone important. The very first chakra questions are around the idea of survival and safety. So if your root chakra is located in your tailbone, which is very basically. So if you are doing a meditation or grounding meditation, your root chakra is what's connecting you with the earth. So you're sitting your butt on the earth and you're anchoring in. And you know what, Lucky? I don't know if it's called the drain gate. That's possible. It's your anchor point. It's the magnetic part of you that sticks your butt to the earth. So I suppose it could be the drain gate. I'll get back to you on that one. So yes, the root chakra is where we anchor our energy and manifest ourselves into the world. Now, when this chakra is imbalanced, especially on an emotional level, we may feel excessively negative. We may be very, very cynical. Although cynical humor is a fun thing to have. They're prone to eating disorders, greed, problems with illusions, so not necessarily presenting ourselves very truthfully or honestly. We may feel very, very flippant insecure, or live on, in survival mode. You're always staggering from one emergency to the next. You're not really able to stop and sit down and plan. And because you're just always panic. And when you're living in that panic mode like that all the time, holy cow, yeah. It makes you negative. It makes you just cynical towards the world. You're just not happy. And so that negativity is just kind of all over the place. And since you're panic mode all the time, everything looks like a potential risk. So you become risk avoidant. And and so sorry, I was just reading Lucky's note. Yeah. So you start making poor choices, and it becomes a cyclical behavior that you're always in a state of flux regarding your job situation, your physical health, your safety, your shelter, your emotional behaviors, because everything's being ruled by fear. And on the flip side, if your root chakra is overactive, so think of it as the energy gates are way too open, because that happens, fear might become paranoia or greed, or and that the extreme forms, of course, of an imbalance in your chakra are and often maybe there's overeating or excessive dieting or things like that are impacted by your root chakra not functioning correctly. The root chakra is also often linked to our sexuality, mostly because, it's right at the root of things. So if you're concerned about your root chakra there, your sexual health, do some research, maybe talk to a therapist. Not me. I'm not your bartender today, guys, so just be aware. So yeah, your root chakra not being functioning correctly, yes, that can impact your mental health. So like anxiety and such. I am going to talk about where did it go? How to heal the root chakra after a bit. I'll get to that probably after the break. Trying to not spit out all my information just really quick. So yes, anxiety and your root chakra. Yes, I did skip over the sexual health, but no, I'm not your bartender. Don't talk to me. Talk to your therapist or your bartender. I'm drinking water this evening, not the booze. So yeah, I'm not your right advice person for the sexual health. So to open your root chakra, especially during meditation, you're going to want to engage in and focus on grounding and earth-related activities. Go barefoot in the garden. Go for a walk in your yard barefoot, unless there's doggy bombs or something like that. But connect yourself physically with the dirt. Sometimes gardening is good. Hiking is good. Go to a farmer's market, pick your produce, go home, and cook a meal with that produce that's fresh from the ground. That's often a really good way to be earth-related. And yeah, you need to, do that. I'll go into that a little bit more too, I promise. But mostly, when it comes to opening your root chakra, you're growing your root. So if you're meditating and such, make sure you have like earth colors around you, earth tones, different things that remind you of nature or stability. Or if you're feeling a little stuck, the opposite of those things. Yoga is often really good way to open that bridge to your root chakra. The Muladhara or the root chakra is can also, it's either the Muladhara, the root chakra, or the Adhara, and it's Sanskrit. And it means, the Muladhara means base or foundation or the root support. And of course, because it is a grounding point for us, it's associated with the earth elements. It's considered a red chakra. And it's a very rich vermilion red, so very vibrant. And it's, so if you're on YouTube, you'll see I've got a little image on my screen. And that image is that real vibrant red. And it's the flower, so that it's associated with it and colored in. And also the colors yellow or gold, so it may be a vermilion type of lotus flower, for instance, with the earth element in gold over the top of it. Red symbolizes strength, vitality, and will stimulate our instinctual tendencies. So often when it comes to meditation or the chakras or anything like that, our intuition will really guide us. And you need to make sure, your intuition is open. You're open to receiving what your intuition is telling you. And by golly, it is hard sometimes because, our brain will often get in the way of our intuition. It just happens. And the symbol of the root chakra is a 4-petaled lotus flower. Often it's very stylized with a circle. And the earth is got the downward pointing triangle. Reading this, it's the center of our vital life force, and it's also the seat where our Kundalini sits coiled and dormant, so our energy, until it wakes up to distribute its energy throughout the other chakras. So when it comes to grounding, and I've talked about grounding practices in the past, and I'll probably touch on it again. I'm going to wait to do it. Well, maybe I won't. I got about 4 minutes before the break. Maybe we'll do it now. But when it comes to grounding, the best way to do it is to sit comfortably, whether in a chair or directly on the ground, whatever is going to work best for you. Close your eyes. Mostly because it's easier to visualize with your eyes closed rather than open and seeing the world around you. Just the way of it. Our eyeballs are open, we're going to see squirrels and shinies and all sorts of reasons to not do a thing. It's just life. So close your eyes and, focus on your root chakra, the base of your tailbone, and where it's connected to your seat or the earth, just where it is you're at, and visualize that very root of you connected to the earth magnetically, and like the roots of a tree spreading down into the earth and anchoring you. And as it's anchoring you, you're letting the negative energy flow out of you, because by golly, we've got, just in the day-to-day life right now, we are encountering some negative energy. And just let that flow out of you. Just breathe in clean air, and as you breathe out, you're letting that negative energy go away and just fading away into the earth. Because you know what? The earth is strong and she can support us. So when you inhale, you're inhaling basically the good energy from the earth that's coming up those roots. So, and you just do this for a while. Don't focus on anything else. And I would say start with just a couple minutes of this, because often it's energizing. Maybe not do it at nighttime, or sometimes it's grounding, and try it out. I'm not going to say ground or do this and then go to bed, because you may not sleep. But if you do it first thing in the morning, you may not feel like getting anything else done. So you're going to have to figure out the time for your grounding exercises. But just focus on that root chakra, Inhale the good energy from the earth coming up your roots, and exhale the negative energy going out into the earth. And yeah, do it for a couple of minutes. Set a timer if you have to. Often people will have music going and the length of a song. One song and you're done. Depending on your song, it's going to be about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. And build yourself up, go to 3 minutes or 4 minutes or 2 or 3 songs. And if you have a problem, sitting up and being comfortable, don't be afraid to, put a wall at your back so you can lean against it and brace yourself a bit. And if you're sitting on the floor, man, it's really hard to fall off the floor. I've done it, but that's a different story. So yeah, just, if you're sitting on the floor or the ground, have a wall or something at your back, or a tree even. Sometimes that tree can really help you visualize that energy flowing down into the earth and the good energy coming up. and just, listen to your intuition, and because your gut will tell you how much of that energy you really need. And, letting yourself, you feel what you need to do, or feel that energy. Listen again, journal, write down the time when you do it. And how did you feel afterwards, and how long did you meditate, and what came to mind as you're doing these things. Because often as we open ourselves up with these grounding and the meditation, things will come to us, whether it's our intuition giving us, or our, our guides, our spirit guides giving us information about the future or the present or even the past. Allow that energy to flow into you. So we're off to our first break. We'll be right back, and we'll talk about how to open your root chakra. So we'll see you in a few. Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we're off adventuring into the spaces between. And we are talking about the root chakra tonight because you know what? It's the root of all things, that chakra. It's our anchor to the world. So, oh, hi, Marie. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Chakra, chakra, chakra. It's funny. So I started Googling chakra to do some research so I'd have some information so I could actually talk about something. And it kept trying to get me to go to Shaka Khan. And it's not that kind of party. But still kind of funny. So, anyways, the root chakra, not Shaka Khan, is also in the Muladhara. And it's our primal energy. And again, it's located at the base of the spine. And it's associated with survival needs. They're just real basic survival, like your bladder. But it governs your bladder, kidneys, your lower extremities, your spine. And if there's an imbalance, you're going to feel some physical symptoms. Like, I know that when my back is about to have issues, I can feel the pain starting to snarl at my sacral chakra. I'll get to that one on Friday, I think, unless something comes up. But yeah, I can tell when something is out of alignment because it feels like there's a blockage in my chakras, and that energy just it just stops, and it's unpleasant, just to say the least. So with the root chakra, if there's an imbalance, you may feel you experience, I should say, constipation. You may have weight issues, whether gain or excessive loss. It can vary depending on where you're at with your energy levels. Fatigue, oh yes. Yes. Back pain, yes. If it's blocked a little bit, yes, the back pain starts. Yes, sir. And emotionally, if the first chakra is in need of healing, you're going to be short-tempered and possibly really aggressive. And if you're having lots of insecurity, like I mentioned, or poor decision making, anxiety, detachment, like not really connecting, which may just be response to what's going on. But you never know. Your root chakra may need some help. So, if you're feeling less than grounded, stand up. Just you stand up with your feet shoulder width apart. Relax your upper body. Deep cleansing breath in and out, and let your arms just rest comfortably by your sides. Allow your hips to rest slightly forward, and just breathe deep and exhale, and feel again those roots connecting you to the earth, and that connection to deepen. If your root chakra is feeling a little muddy, take a shower, cleanse. Cleansing, as I've mentioned, we're just doing the root chakra still, bomber. There's a lot of information in those chakras, so that's basically where we're at. So yeah, I've mentioned, just taking a shower to cleanse anyways. It could be just be mindful and set your intention prior to stepping into the shower, and allow, mentally take, I'm using the soap, I'm scrubbing up that energy that's negative, and I'm out of balance, and it's just causing me issues. And with the water running off and running all that soapy water down the drain, you're letting everything cleanse you. You're letting that energy, fade away and go away. Physical movement can help with your grounding your root chakra. It doesn't matter if it's walking or doing chores or running or just moving around a little bit. It helps with your chakras, your root chakra. And just be aware of yourself when you're making those movements. Even if, yes, I know some of the listeners have some mobility issues, just be aware of the movement, and what it is you're doing. Be mindful of that behavior. So whether you're walking in nature or a crowded city, be aware of the motions you're doing to move forward or back, whatever it is. But concentrate on your footfalls or the steps, the strides you're making, and feel, the impact as your foot is hitting the ground, or if you're in a chair, the impact as you're moving your wheels, whatever it is, you're focusing in, you're anchoring. And if you are using wheels instead of feet, which is fine, think of it like a railroad. Your wheels are on the rails, and with every motion that you're taking to move forward, you're connecting more with the tracks to go forward more. And you can even visualize that, with the tracks, with the friction and the motion. And if you've ever watched a train go across the tracks, you can watch how the rails dip down and the depending on if it's cement or wood, or the railroad ties, flexing into the ground, and just that flow, that energy flow as you're moving. And just let it go, let that energy go, and focus on feeling it, just feeling it. Visualize the color red. Wear it. Red is a power color anyways. When you're wearing it, it generally is very indicative of confidence in self, something we all need. And so yeah, wear that red. Have it connect to your root chakra, and you can meditate on the color red. Now, if you have visualizations issues, or like if you have problems seeing, red, for me, the color red is like a strawberry. The flavor of a strawberry is what the color red translates to me. Some people say pink, but not for me. It's really truly strawberry, because or red or raspberry jam, that the tartness and that sweetness, all of it. So yeah, that's for me, just that red. The berries come across as very red as a flavor. So, whatever it is, texture that you might associate with color or flavor you might associate with color. For me, yeah, berries. But as you're doing that meditation, maybe visualize a red ball of energy is sitting at the base of your spine and warming you up. What's going wrong on your insides, or your anxiety or stuff, let that red kind of radiate through you and downward, as it's, grounding you and helping you, anchor in and push out some of that negative stuff. Dancing, honestly, is a really good way to open up your root chakra. Now, you don't have to dance in public. You don't have to go clubbing, because a lot of us are really clubbing people. But you could, or dance at home as you're, sweeping the floor, or dance with the vacuum. Don't sing into the toilet bowl brush. I'm just saying. But, whatever it is, that movement is grounding, and it will help dispel negativity. Stretch. By golly, just stretching is really, really good. Whether you're touching your toes or just, you're putting your hands up and stretching up above you, whatever it is, visualize that strong foundation and such. For yoga poses, you could do the tree, the eagle, the mountain, the downward facing dog, or the wide-legged forward bend. For me, that's the best one for me, just because, that's just what it works. Because by golly, sometimes, you gotta have it. So when our root chakra is compromised, because by golly, it can be. I say that a lot. I'm sorry about the by gollies, but yes, it can be. And because if that energy flow isn't going through you correctly, through your root chakra, it's not going to flow very well through the rest of you. If it's off balance or something, and you're experiencing that paranoia or being short-tempered, because, that happens, you need to stop and think about, what's going on. This, again, is a really good opportunity for you to journal, because often when we're writing things down, we express it, and it's like, whew, I've expressed that and I can move on. But if you're, what's causing you anxiety, what's causing you the paranoia, what are you being, short-tempered about, or if you're just having some different behavioral patterns that are not normal for you, like generally speaking, I'm in a good mood. Or at least a neutral mood, but more normally good. If I'm angry about something, it's abnormal, and by golly. I gotta figure out what it is, because sometimes I'll just wake up on the wrong side of the bed and whoop, that's not good. As far as the yoga goes, yeah, if you've got the Wii Fit, I know the PlayStation has some stuff that you can use. YouTube, honestly, has some great videos on yoga videos. And if you've got mobility issues, try the yoga for old people. Seriously. Because they help you or give you modified poses or modified movements to help you get into it, rather than, I don't know that I do hot yoga right out the gate. That'll probably just, do more harm than good. But yeah, yoga is very, very good for you. If you want to see someone who's done yoga their entire life and how well their body is held together with the benefits of yoga, check out Sting in any of his recent videos or images or pictures. Man, he is well structured, well built, and he's tight and toned, and he's a yogi. So he's been teaching, he's to the point where he can teach yoga, but he's been doing yoga for decades now. And you can tell. You can really tell. Lucky goes, we can get caught in thought loops occasionally. When the root chakra is blocked, yeah, we get stuck in the ruts. We can't get out of the mud. It happens. Bomber, you're funny. Yes, the police. A long time ago, but yeah, Sting. My first memory of him is in the movie of Dune, so, But yeah, the yoga is it's a real thing. And you know what? Dancing is grounding in general. And you're getting out there and you're getting the blood flowing and the endorphins are up. And even though you feel like a fool for shaking your booty, it's good for you. Just don't throw anything out. Stretch first. So, with the root chakra, it is a feminine energy generally associated with the root chakra. I have gnats, weird. So the Muladhara chakra is the very first, again, the base of the spine. Bladder, kidneys, lower spine, back. It impacts the fight or flight sensations. And so just be careful. And also, in addition to the red, black, brown, gray are other colors that that are also associated with the chakra. You think earth colors or earth tones. Cameron, I'm pretty sure twerking would throw something out. We don't want that. Unless that's something you're used to doing. I don't know. Stretch first, please. You guys are goofy. When we ignore things like the chakras, for instance, and we don't give them enough attention, it's what happens. Because we tend to put things that might be considered self-care and working on your own chakras. It's really hard. Because, yoga, that's self-care. Going to the gym, that's self-care. Getting more in touch with ourselves, that's self-care. And often our societies just don't really encourage that. So find some time, whether it's in the morning, in the evening, high noon, whatever it is, where you can stop and focus on yourself, for the meditation especially. Journaling, yes, all of that. Do it. And, set a timer if you have to, and tell your families, like, you know what, this is my me time. You back up, Chuck. I did not, nope, I'm not here right now. I'm on vacation, and you cannot talk to me. Whatever it is you have to do, do what you got to do. My chat room is silly. Thank you guys for keeping the humor going. So, yes, feelings of insecurity, aggressiveness, sexual dysfunction. So if you're not feeling it, in the bedroom, maybe you need to look at your root chakra, guys. Maybe you're feeling extra anger, restlessness, eating disorders, and all of that stuff is connected to your root chakra. So, get in touch with your primary needs, whether it's money to pay bills or buy food or make sure you have housing, all of that in line. Make sure you're journaling your issues. That way you're aware of what they are and they're not just lurking around in the ether, and then work on your chakra to heal it, because in healing your root chakra and opening it up, it helps you focus on the behaviors that may have been holding you back or putting you into that cycle of negative behavior and activity that really impacts your ability to make sure you've got your primary needs met, your bills paid, and that kind of thing. It's not about y'all, but if my bills aren't paid, I feel insecure, and that's real. So, if your root chakra, your first chakra is out of balance, it's going to be hard for you to feel safe because you don't know, am I going to have enough groceries for the next month? Am I going to lose that roof over my head? And you just feel paranoid about everything. You just do. And so, and it's not the transitory concerns like, I got my hours reduced and I'm just stressing about things, Instead, stop and think about, what are the overall goals. So the same behaviors. Are you taking the same kind of job that's giving you irregular hours and so you can't plan your finances, or whatever it is. So it's that activity that you have control of. So that first chakra tends to impact your psyche and your ability to make the choices and the decisions to make sure that you have the finances in place to cover your bills, to buy the groceries, and all of that. If fear is your primary motivating factor, your root chakra may need some tuning, because fear, if you're always living in that fight or flight response area of life, it's exhausting. And by golly, if fear is your primary instigator for the day, it's going to keep you from, worrying about your health and taking care of yourself. And it will break down your very foundations. And if your foundations of yourself are breaking down, you have problems with mental health, you have problems with physical health, you have problems with emotional health, and all of those things after a while bring you further down. It becomes a vicious cycle of negativity and having, more stress. And we have to remember to, stop and work on ourselves and help ourselves. So anchor yourself in your environment. Again, whether it's, making sure you have a safe space in your room, maybe it's in your bathroom, your kitchen, wherever it is that you need that safe place for yourself, for your meditation, for your spiritual work, for your energetic work, whatever it is, you need that safe spot. You need that safe environment. And yeah, sorry about the static. I've talked enough in the last year and a half that my microphone is not all happy. I think that's what it is. I don't know. And how you feel about your immediate surroundings, whether it's your home or your neighborhood or your region, really does impact your first chakra balance. I mean, seriously. If you're living, say in Portland right now, your neighborhood or region security may not be as strong as it might be if you lived in, say, Wyoming. I'm just picking a place, just Wyoming. They don't. Wyoming doesn't seem to be on the news a lot lately, so I'm hoping they're safe. I know that we are up here in North Idaho, so yeah, maybe you're here in North Idaho. Whatever it is. But connect with the earth. You know, whether it's going outside and walking in the dirt, not on pavement, but in the dirt, planting things, working with seeds. Maybe you have in an apartment and you have like an herb garden or a potted plant garden on your balcony or in your house or something. You know, that gives you the opportunity to get, you know, into the dirt and feel a connection with earth in general. Maybe you have a terrarium in your bedroom because that's the space you have. You know, focus on it. You know, there's the little meditation garden scenes you can get. It's like a little tray. You put some sand in there, some seashells. Honestly, you can go to the dollar store and buy all that stuff, spend about $15, and oh my stars, do you have a lot of things to create your little Zen garden that you can leave on top of your dresser, your nightstand, or whatever, to help smooth you out and give you that place to meditate, to do those actions. And if you don't have access to a garden, you know, I get it. Go to a park, or at work. I mean, if you know, if there's a 3-foot square garden next to the front door, sometimes you just need to take your shoes off and put your feet in it, in the dirt. I get it. But yeah, you know, whatever it is you have to do. I know that, like, here locally, you can buy a tray with dirt and seeds in it to grow grass for your cats, which I think is kind of insane. But honestly, you could do the same thing. Have a grass tray that you could sit upon in your house, whatever it is. You know, just bring the earth closer to you and ground into it and just soak into it. And yeah, Justin, if you're near Portland, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, the chakras are there's a lot out of control over by Portland. Be safe, my dear. Please, please be safe. So that root chakra really does govern the total health of your entire chakra system. Because yeah, it's the foundation. So any movement involving your feet and legs is going to be helpful, even if it's just a twitch or a stretch, you know, whatever you can do, you know, even if it's just a mental exercise that you're doing it, because I know some people have physical issues when it comes to movement. I get it. So, you know, just do what you can. Learn some self-reliance, you know, instead of worrying about, you know, somebody else getting you from point A to point B. What is it that you can do to control your ability to get around and do things and do more for yourself? Because when you have self-reliance, it helps with your confidence and your perception of your own resourcefulness. I know some people don't know how to pay their own bills. You can take a class online anymore or at your, you know, in person, and you know, learn about your personal finances and how to control them better. That's out there all over the place. Often if you ask your local banker, like who you go to for your bank accounts, your checking account, savings account, whatever, and say, hey, I need to learn something about money management so I have a budget to help with my finances. You know what? They'll be able to help you. And that's a big deal. You know, having that comfort and that understanding and that security in knowing that your budget is good, and that resourcefulness and that ability to get it sorted on your own and learn those things, it'll help you feel good about yourself, and that confidence then will help you connect with your root chakra and just be more secure in yourself. Honestly, truly. So I'm going to stop there a minute. I see everybody's talking about fall and the seasons changing in the chat rooms, and by golly, There it is, the by golly again. Yes, the seasons are changing. I think fall is here a little earlier this year in the northern hemisphere. I think winter will be a little heavier and stronger this year. And I mean, we almost froze, a week ago? And there's potential for frost, I think Monday or Tuesday here. So, yeah, it's rapidly approaching that season. So we will do the singing bowl after the break, and I do believe Naysay will be calling in after the break as well. So I can't believe how fast this first hour is going. Wow, crazy, wild. So if you do have questions, send me an email, wildpaisley@gmail.com, WILDEPAISLEY@gmail.com. Or you can call too, I guess. But we'll see you guys after the break.
I, oh Lord, within the sun, as we will, so mote it be, the spell forever done.
Yeah, guys, I don't know if you heard it, but hey, all. I forgot to hit the transition. So here I'm talking, I played the bowl and everything, and yeah, let it go. Here we go. Here's some more bowl. I don't know if anybody else got it. I love my singing bowl. If you ever have the opportunity to do a workshop or a singing bowl meditation session, you really, really need to. Because, yes, it is fantastic. Fantastic. The different notes, they're very, very good for your chakras, by the way. Hold on. Didn't have that up. Boop, 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 boop. So, for your singing bowls, come on, internet. The root chakra is the C note. So, Justin, that's too funny that your dog doesn't like the bowl. Mine actually went to bed, it looks like. It's not under my foot. Neither of them. So yes, the note of C is very good for your skeleton and your spine in general. So, yes. Oh, now I know what the dogs are barking about. Oi, they were barking about the skunk outside that I can now smell. Blah. Maybe the bull scared it away. Ugh. Little skunk goes a long way. Oh, talk about let it go. Go away, skunk. Go away. So, we're talking about the root chakra tonight. And my plan is to go through each of them individually, one per night. So this is going to take a little bit. I may actually just do them on Saturdays. We'll see. Mostly it's because I want us to really focus on the chakras and the energy involved, because it's important to feel grounded. You know, whatever it is that's helping you feel grounded. And if your root chakra isn't connected and flowing correctly, you know, the rest of your chakras are going to have a hard time functioning well and having that energy flow through you well, or even just okay. Sometimes all we can hope for is okay. So one moment, I see that Naysay is calling it. And again, Naysay is getting ready to go on another grand adventure. So, hey, Naysay, you're on the air, my dear.
Well, hello, Ms. Paisley. It's such an honor to have the opportunity to speak with you and get the present of your presence.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you could call in. We chatted a little bit earlier in the day about your next grand adventure. Did you want to go into some details?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Just a little time traveling back in 2000, because of my advocacy for veterans, Native Americans, and cannabis, I rode my wheelchair across the state of Minnesota, 270 miles from Moorhead, Minnesota, which is right along the border of North Dakota, down Highway 10 to the capital in St. Paul, Minnesota. It took me 11 days, and it was an adventure nonetheless, an arduous task with many moments of pondering the existence of this entity. And because of this 20-year anniversary, this Wednesday, September 9th, at 9 a.m. in the morning, I will be embarking on a anniversary ride to bring about awareness of Go for Illness, which I am adamantly in the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that I am living or dying with, depending on the perspective. So I am thankful and humbled with you giving me the opportunity to share this. If anybody could assist me in any ways that they feel possible, I would greatly appreciate it. The most effective way at this moment is to help get the word out. If you do hashtag roll, the number 4 US, or on Facebook, you can find a page that is roll, the number 4 US, and also a group called Rolling, the number 4 US. There's also a website, Twitter, and Instagram, even though I have not quite figured them out with my challenge of being blind, which makes this adventure even more exciting because I'll be doing it blind this time.
Oof. Yeah. How's that going to work?
So,
Are you going to have someone helping you, or?
Well, we have 2 support vehicles, and we have I'm forgetting the name of the bike, and someone in the background might. I hear voices in my head, but it's called a recumbent bike or tricycle.
Okay.
And we have a mechanism that's hooked up to my chair where they will be in front of me, in a sense, guiding me down the highway.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be exciting. Hopefully, if everything goes into synchronicity, there are some entities that are talking about building and setting up some teepees along the ride. So we may be staying overnight in teepees. And the goal is on the 19th of September to arrive at the Capitol and plant ourselves there for a length of time maybe, or depending on what occurs, and if the exponential rate of attention happens, who knows, maybe we'll get really adventurous and roll all the way to Washington, D.C. before the elections.
That would be an adventure. Holy cow. Very, very, very
right?
much
Maybe
so.
I should roll for vice president, may say, for the USA.
You know, I think you would do just as well as pretty much anybody else out there.
Well, I would only want to take the position if I was selected, or if I was humbled enough to let the general populace deem me qualified or worthy of such a position, because to be a servant of the people is the highest honor from my teaching as an Anishinaabe and as a veteran. So it will be what it was, but if any of you could help spread the word, I'd greatly appreciate it, and I would I will let you go because I'd love for you to have the opportunity about grounding us, because right now it is essential that we find ourselves grounded at the current stimulation that we are being bombarded with. And if I may humbly suggest, hematite is an excellent source for grounding also.
I have a hematite bracelet. It's hematite and onyx bracelet that I wear every day, just because, we need all the help we can get. Oh, by golly. So, yeah. Got a lot of by gollies today.
So, thank you, Paisley.
You're very welcome, Nace.
I really
just
appreciate the moments.
You're very welcome. I did just put the link for your Facebook page into the chat for YouTube, and hold on, I'm putting it into TFR now. Ooh, wrong button. There we go. So there.
And a special hello a special hello and hi to the miracles in the chat room. I hope you're finding giggles abundantly throughout the chaos and new world order of it all. Thank you, Paisley. Toodles, apegish bimad zile women.
Thank you, Nase. So yeah, Nase, gosh darn, I gotta tell you, it would take some chutzpah just to get on a bicycle and go across that space, just because I've been in there. I used to live in Minnesota, so I know the the where he's driving or riding, and yeah, it's I don't know, it'd be hard to do it, you know, on a recumbent bicycle and blind. I mean, that's definitely some chutzpah. Definitely. So, yeah, ground out some of that negativity that we're experiencing. And this coming week, you know, send some positive vibes towards Nase. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So a little bit of irony. My next little bullet point here, talking about your chakras and healing it and everything, is you know, discovering your true needs and aspirations. And I think Nase is definitely aspiring to do something. Let's see. There we go. Get the word out there, because yeah, the Native American community, the First People community here in the U.S., had some real heroes in the military, and I don't think they've received the recognition they should have. Just overall, without a doubt. Excuse me. So yeah, before you can heal your root chakra, you need to know what it is you need to know. By golly. Again, there's the by golly. This is again why journaling is important. I mean, if you're not journaling, how do you know what it is you need? How do you know what it is you want? Because there's so much information out there just telling society, or I should say, society, mainstream media, the marketing campaigns tell us what they think we need. But until we know what we truly need, you know, we're not getting the right messages. We're not getting the right information, because I got to tell you, I see all these wonderful, fun things on commercials every so often, or I'll get the random pop-up from Wish, which is kind of a riot, because sometimes I have to click on it because all I can think is, what on earth is that? But yeah, I've seen a few things that would be interesting to get, but you're funny, bomber. I don't need the latest and greatest coffee maker. I don't. Are there different coffee makers that I would love to have? Yes, there are. Absolutely yes. But I have a pretty basic drip coffee maker, and I am absolutely fine with it. It meets my needs. Why do I need anything else? I don't have the I can't even think about what it is. The single serve coffee, whatever it is, coffee maker thingy. Keurig, that's what it is. I don't have a Keurig. I don't need a Keurig. I drink more coffee than that. I would be wasting so much money buying Keurigs. They're cups or K-cups, whatever the heck they are. And do I need one of those? No. Do I need an espresso maker? No. I am absolutely fine with what I have. I know that I don't need it, so I have what I need. I just need coffee grounds and a cup and some water. Then I'm good. And yeah, keep it simple. Don't make it fancy. If I'm going to have fancy coffee, it's because I put ice cream or whipped cream into my coffee. Seriously. So understand what your needs are. Do I need to go out and buy more shoes? Nope. Do I need to go out and buy more furniture? Nope. Do I need... I can't even think of anything. Do I need another bracelet or a ring? Nope, I really don't. Do I want to? Yeah. Okay, kind of. Yes. but my needs are not there. So, we need to really focus on what we need. The U.S. specifically, because that's what I'm familiar with, is really a consumer-based society, and so we're so focused on consuming and getting the latest, greatest product as cheap as we can. So we've become the Walmart society, or Walmart consumers, and so the quality isn't there. So we often need to replace things, and we just really need to focus on what we really need. You okay? Okay. Love you, baby. Mini me. So yeah, focus on what we need. And if there's something you see that you want, do a pros and cons list. Do you really need it, or do you just want it? And if the cons outweigh the pros, what do you need? Oh, yes, maple syrup and coffee is fantastic. Yes, that was Mini-Me. She has a sinus infection. She woke up in the middle of the night, and often she needs to reset herself. What is the matter? Your tummy hurt? Oh, go get a bucket, baby. Or a bowl. All right, we'll go to the bathroom. Yes, my child needs something. Maybe. Mostly to go back to bed and go back to sleep. Maybe a drink of water. Yes. Yeah, what we want and what we need are often really two different things. Do I want a different car? Yes. Do I need a different car? No. I kind of like my Equinox. So yeah, journal the want versus need. Honestly, because if you don't know what you truly need, you're going to be really easily influenced by other people's opinions, or their personal circumstances, or you might miss an opportunity to get what you really need. And so yeah, meditate on those. Introspection can really give you some clarity to what it is you need. What do you need? Do you need to go potty? Okay, go potty. Go use the bathroom. Okay, go upstairs and go potty. Oh my. We have a little joke where she wakes up in the middle of the night and she's just panicky and upset until she goes potty, and it resets her, and then she's all happy-go-lucky again. Yes. So, anyways, yeah, if you're not journaling what you need and understanding what you really need, you're going to be easily influenced, and you're going to be bouncing and staggering from one reaction to another. Instead of taking action, you're just doing reaction. And pay attention to those limiting beliefs about yourself or what you might be able to achieve. If you grew up in a household where you have always been told that you're not going to succeed at something, stop and think about it. Are you really not going to succeed at that, or is it just you've been told you're not going to? Because often other people's limiting beliefs and limiting speech become our own internal voices, and we need to again use the shadow work and release that, or therapy. I again am a proponent of therapy, and whatever it is you need to do to get rid of those limiting beliefs and limiting self-talk. And remember, self-talk is two-dimensional. It does not hear emotion. So whatever you are saying to yourself, good or ill, you are going to only hear whatever it is. So if you're like, oh, I'm so fat, all you're going to hear is, yes, you're heavy. And that's not good for you. So stop and think about, what is it that you are saying to yourself? We talked about this a couple weeks back. The things you hear, regardless of what they are, or how they are said, um, are going to impact how you really feel about yourself and what you think. So yes, think about what you're hearing, what message you're giving yourself. Um, and remember that the psychology of lack and scarcity tends to become a self-perpetuating, and it reinforces those limiting beliefs about your chances of success. So healing your root chakra aims at restoring that confidence in your ability to provide for yourself and just meet your basic needs. So an important step in healing your root chakra is to recenter the notion of material abundance on inner and non-material abundance. Do you need the biggest house? Do you need the fanciest car? Do you need the latest cell phone? Do you need, what is it you really need? Because if you are constantly assessing your level of wealth just based on your bank account, and you're spending all that money on things, you don't have any wealth. Or are you considering the other riches in your life? Maybe it's your garden, it's your friendships, it's your pets, it's the everyday pleasures that you have. It's going out for a cup of coffee with friends, or a glass of wine, or a soda, or whatever it is. In the process of identifying what abundance means to you will help you, find that center that you need for your root chakra to really take root and help you control things. The root chakra really does embody the energy and manifestation. So when you're healing your root chakra, remember that the outer world is often a reflection of what is happening inside you in your mind. So if you look around your home and you see chaos and clutter and debris and dirt and dust and all of those things, you know what? It may be the same thing that's in your mind. As I look at my craft area and the clutter over there. Seriously. So, if you live in a cluttered home or work in a cluttered office, often that is reflective of your mental health and your mental notion of inner balance. So, be aware of what the material world looks like around you. Because if you're, again, focusing on, looking around at the world and you're not, taking the steps to clean up the world around you in your home or your room or your kitchen or whatever, you're also not doing that same work up in your brain, up in your mind. So your state of being translates into your ability to manifest in the material world also. So if your root chakra is not functioning right, odds are good you're going to see a reflection of that in the world around you. And I feel light and clean and airy as soon as my house is clean. And then I close my eyes and I look away and somebody comes through, whether it's mini-me or the grandkids or even the dog anymore. And there's debris everywhere. So we're going to our last break. We'll be right back and we'll wrap up the root chakra.
Sisters of the shining moon, heaven, earth, and sea, I call upon you in this hour, bring magic unto me. Brothers, oh, the cauldron cries, it singeth unto me the songs of Mother Goddess and the Father in the tree.
Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. And tonight we are talking about the chakras because, hey, you know what? They're important. Or started with the root chakras specifically because if we don't have a good foundation, how can we have a good house? How can we have a good structure? Have a good night, Dee. Because yeah, it's all connected. You know, if you don't have a good foundation, how's your house going to stand up straight? Honestly. Yeah, we had just finished up, talking about the root chakra and how our outer world often is a reflection of what's happening inside of us. It's when it comes to I'm looking at my art space or my crafting area, and it's quite the cluttered bit of insanity. And Bomber, was it Bomber? Yeah, Bomber just said that the clutter, too much clutter. Thought of tackling it is kind of debilitating all by itself. Yes, yes, it is, and it is. Because you know what, that is a huge job when you start trying to get rid of the clutter or figure out what you're going to do or how you're going to do it and make it work and not be insane and all of the bits and pieces and components, because yeah, it's not simple. No, getting rid of the clutter is never simple because I don't know about y'all, but never fails. The moment I throw something away, it's like within 2 weeks I needed something that I just discarded. Yeah. And then I got to figure out what else I'm going to do or change my plan. It's a good thing I can roll with it and I'm willing to change my plan sometimes, because otherwise, yeah, I'd be up the proverbial creek. And I don't like being there. I really truly don't. So, yeah, if you're having a hard time, figuring out how to declutter, pick a color. Start with whatever your least favorite color is, and take all of those things that are that color and put them in a boxes, bags, whatever you got, and sort through it. Garbage, keep, or recycle or donate. What is it that you need to do? And maybe you need help. Oh yes, Chris. Worse than throwing away something you need or buying something and realize that you already had one. Yeah. I binge shop for furniture. Instead of shoes, I shop for furniture. And I have been really good about not buying furniture, bringing any home, lady. It's hard. It's very hard. So yeah, focus on one thing, and it's hard. Maybe put it on a calendar. What's your to-do list look like? Today I am going to go through shoes. Tackle it, break it down into smaller tasks. And when it comes to getting rid of clutter, because if you don't, it'll just keep building up, and then it'll start reproducing, and suddenly you will always have clutter around you, and you become a hoarder. So don't become a hoarder. Get rid of the clutter. I resemble this remark, so I'm not judging you. I'm not saying anything that you might not already know about, but yeah. So, When you look at healing your root chakra, what do? Well, you do some grounding, some therapy, whatever you got to do. And it depends upon, the severity of your blockage, or your imbalance. You may need meditation, you might need yoga, energy healing like Reiki, or acupuncture, sound therapy like the chakra tuning forks or the singing bowl. Whatever it is, sometimes, or therapy, sometimes you just need to start up, go find a therapist and get some stuff off your chest to help with that healing process, the kickstart, if you will. But there are other things like aromatherapy is often really good for chakra balancing. So for the root chakra specifically, consider using flowering or earthy scented essential oils to help with grounding and balancing, like ylang-ylang, rosemary, patchouli, sandalwood, myrrh, rosemary. Those are all very grounding. If you've got, I said rosemary twice. Sorry, guys. If you have rosemary, like in your garden or something, and you don't have an essential oil, you could couple sprigs and pour some hot water over them, and just let the smells come out, or simmer it on your stove. Just be aware that you're not, boiling it dry. You can also add healing foods to your diet. So, I like to cook by color, because I like having a variety of colorful things on my plate, not just nutritional food, but colorful food, because often the different colors help you feel better and help with that root chakra. So root vegetables are naturally red colored foods, or animal proteins either, like parsnips, soy, tofu, eggs, beans, meat, rainbow shard, beets. Beets are fabulous for you. I personally love beets and carrots, like heirloom carrots, the purple carrots, red carrots, all of the colorful carrots. I love to roast them. They're yummy, 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 yummy. Chakra crystals or stones, depending on if you're overactive or underactive, it does vary a little bit, because stones themselves have different vibrations and energetic meaning to them. So, if you have questions, do some research. Make sure there's Gems and Crystals, the Bible of Crystals or something like that. Really good information, making sure you have the right stones for you. Generally, we pick red stones to help heal the root chakra, like red jasper, bloodstone, red carnelian. That's what this is right here. Love my carnelian. Garnet. You can also use hematite. Rhodochrosite, jet, smoky quartz. Oh, smoky quartz is fabulous. And, just bloodstone. Those are good choices. But yes, the strong red colors. And, when it comes to journaling and trying to figure out what you need, start off some questions. Ask yourself, do you have what you need to live comfortably? I'm not saying excessively or, in a big way, or being loud and proud or anything like that, but comfortable. Do you have food? Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have warmth or cooling? Do you have electricity? Is that something you need? Running water, working bathroom? Do you have the things you need to live comfortably? Are you okay financially? Or are you struggling financially? Or do you have a good, like a savings, something to rely upon? Are your living conditions okay? Do you feel safe where you live? Because often if we don't feel safe where we live, that really undercuts us and prevents us from healing and moving forward and feeling grounded. Because often if we don't feel safe, that flight or fight impulse kicks in, and we start staggering from disaster to disaster. And yeah, it's hard. Oh yes. And yes, Lucky goes, being grateful makes food taste better. Yes, it does. And just whatever it is, Be grateful for what you have. And you don't have to have a huge garden. I just have a couple pots with, some herbs in it. In your windowsill, if that's something you have or have the ability to have in your space. Do you feel connected to the environment around you, especially your natural environment, whether it's, being able to experience the elements at all, or are you pretty locked in where you're at and you don't feel very connected to the natural environment? Do you feel resourceful? Yes, no, maybe? Or do you feel threatened by looming events? I mean, does the coronavirus epidemic and stuff that's going on right now in our world, how does that make you feel? Are you giving you some anxiety? Do you feel like, if you were called, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. and told, hey, don't come to work because we're going to be shut down for the next 6 weeks, are you okay? Because, if you're not okay, you are going to feel anxiety and stress. And you need to figure out what it is you need to do to make sure that that stress is lessened as much as possible. And do you find yourself in situations or relationships that others feel are good for you, but doesn't really meet your needs? It just, it's not working for you. Someone says, oh, you guys make the cutest couple. And you're like, nah. Yay. But, that may not be the really right relationship for you, especially if your partner isn't supporting you and emotionally, physically, and mentally. So, whatever it is, you need to make sure you've got enough support. And, are your roots strong enough to support you where you are? So several years ago, I lived in Minnesota. I spent 4 years there. And it was very northern Minnesota. And I liked it. I had friends. I had people at a circle, if you will, a support system. But it wasn't a very strong one. And I had family there for most of that time. And family moved away. I'm like, all right. So and I'm evaluating what I've got going on in my world. And it's like, you know what? It's 60 below here during the winter. And it's 115 during the summer. The wind chill will freeze your nose off, and if there's anything left, the mosquitoes will eat it off in the summer. And all I can think is like, and I have some friends here, but if I needed a place to crash because my house burned down, for instance, in Minnesota, like, do I have that? And I couldn't just sit and look and think, yes, I have that support system, because I didn't. And so I didn't feel like I had roots there. I felt like I was just kind of coasting along. I wasn't really grounded, or it wasn't home. I didn't feel well placed there. And so I relocated back to Idaho. And I've got those roots here. I feel supported here. I feel, I guess my connection to the community here is better. And so whether it's job related, health related, or housing, relationships, and with friends and family and everything, you know what? This feels pretty good here. This is where I feel supported. And so sometimes, you got to move to find that support. You really, really do. And it's hard, Let's see. If you're needing a bit of a mood boost, orange or mint for aromatherapy will help you just, feel a little more uplifted. And sometimes that's exactly what you need to get your butt in gear to clean something and to get rid of some of that clutter. I generally start in the kitchen. Once I have a clean kitchen, I feel like I can tackle the rest of the house. I generally finish in the bathroom because I loathe cleaning the bathroom. That is the room I hate to clean the most. So, I hate cleaning the bathroom. Blech. I had boys. I'm scarred for life, guys. Absolutely scarred. Chris Jarvis, yeah, come on over. Just be careful. The housing situation is a little rocky here in North Idaho. Oh, thank you, Naysay. Thank you. Yeah. This is home for me. I couldn't possibly ever think about living somewhere else. So, YTFP, Chris, 111. Ay. I'm sorry, man. That's brutal and horrible and no. Just no. Nope. So, good foods for the chakra, the root chakra, just kind of as a, a summary, if you will. Red colored foods, apples, beets, root foods, root veggies, hot spices. Honestly, they don't have to be really super hot, but those warmer spices are good for you. And often, I like paprika on a lot of stuff, so I put it in pretty much everything, and it's very, very red, and it's good for you. And do some yoga, do some stretching, whatever it is that helps you find your center and that growth of your energy. And forest bathing, which is a thing, by the way, which is bizarre to me that it's even a thing. But forest bathing basically means close your eyes, imagine you're in a great big forest, and how does it smell? And does it help you? But if you've got like even a Christmas type candle where you smell pine or those scents as you're doing the meditation, if that helps you feel grounded in a forest, by all means do that. Yeah. Whatever it is that you need to do to help you ground, put your feet in the dirt, or the sand or the mud. If you can get to a river, put your feet, where the water meets the dirt. Feel it. Just, whatever it is to help you connect more to the earth. Park your butt on the ground, whether it's at home or in the office, out in the park, whatever it is. Sit down, visualize your spine as being anchored to the earth, and you're letting with every exhale, the negative energy is going out through your roots, because you are the tree at this point. You're breathing out that negative energy, and you're inhaling the positive energy from the earth. And you know what? You can keep doing that. You can, clench your abdominal muscles to help, with the feeling and the exercise of this. You can, stretch your muscles as you're doing it. And just take control of yourself. If you've got a cluttered area around you and you're feeling a lot of anxiety and your mental health is going sideways and you're just having problems, stop and think about it. If you are really having mental health issues, often it will be reflected in the area around you. So yeah, if you've got a cluttered living area, odds are pretty good you're feeling pretty cluttered up here in your brain. And if you've got clutter in your area and in your brain, it's going to be hard for you to open up your chakras and feel grounded and just get in touch with what you need. And sometimes, standing, a power stance. Actually, it's called the superwoman pose. That's where your feet are about shoulder width apart, and you've got your hips on your fists on your hips, and if you've ever seen Wonder Woman, just do your Wonder Woman pose, and that is a power pose, and that'll help you ground into the earth and feel more connected. Now, if you have issues standing up, you modify it and just sit up straight. You can do the same thing sitting. Put your hands on your hips and just feel that connection to the earth. And you know what? If you do have issues or limiting, physically limiting you from experiencing things as fully as you want to, often going to a museum for children, designed for children, like a science museum or Earth, or I can't think of the name of it if they're open where you're at. A lot of those museums have very tactile environments, and check out the ones that's going to help you ground, whether it's rocks or dirt or whatever it is. Have the little Zen garden in your space. I mean, the dollar store here locally has these little wooden trays. They are maybe 8.5 inches long and 6 inches wide. Maybe they're only 5 inches wide. You paint them. Paint whatever it is you want to paint them. Whatever makes you happy. Anything from no paint to tie-dye. Whatever makes you happy. And get some sand. I know the dollar store has different colors of sand. You can get different colors of sand pretty much anywhere. You can get rocks and seashells at the dollar store, candles, any of that stuff. And put it in the sand and draw the designs. I have a little bitty selenite pencil point. It's about 5 inches long, and yeah, it's got a point. And you can draw. I can write my intentions in the sand. Whatever it is, it's going to help you ground. And that's also very, very soothing when you're doing that, it can be very meditative, just like bonsai trees. You're trimming the trees and bending the branches to fit whatever your vision is. That can be very grounding and very emotionally satisfying. But yes, interact with the world around you. If that means you have plants or fake plants, whatever. I mean, not everybody has a green thumb, and I get it. Some people have black thumb. Mine varies. So yeah, whatever it is that's going to help you ground yourself and open that root chakra to the energy of the earth to flow into you, and have that energy flow consistently and with some stability, which means your life needs to be a little more stable. So journal it. Journal what you want to achieve. Because if you don't know what you want to achieve, how are you going to work towards it? I mean, honestly, how are you going to work towards it? Pick up some rocks. Get some grounding stones, whether it's carnelian or garnet or red jasper or smoky quartz or anything like that. Hematite. Those are grounding stones. Have them. Remember, good old-fashioned quartz will amplify any of those grounding stones, and those are good. Have some of the, those earthy tones for your essential oils. I personally don't like most patchouli, so if you find a patchouli that you like, I want to hear about it. Rosemary, sandalwood, myrrh, I do like those. Ylang ylang, same thing. And I will put those in my diffuser so I can smell them. Or I've got some sandalwood incense cones, dupe cones. And yeah, whatever it is that's going to help you feel that grounding. If you don't have access to a meditation room of any kind, there are all sorts of YouTube videos out there. Just make sure you have one that's got some good information on there. And find what it is that's going to work for you. Again, journal it, write it down, because if you don't write it down, you don't know what you have. And that way, say 6 months or a year or 5 years down the road, if you have this same situation, you can go back to that journal and say, hey, I had this problem before, and this is how I fixed it. So you know what? I'm going to do it again. So there. Yeah, dancing helps too. So we have just about a minute left. And if you have questions, by all means, send me the email, wildpaisley@gmail.com. That's WILDEPAISLEY @gmail.com. Yes, sage your space. Get rid of that energy. Let it go. And then I think next Saturday we'll move on to the next chakra, which is the sacral chakra. And that's about 2 inches below the belly button, just to let you know where it is. And it's good for creativity. So just a little blurb. But other than that, I want to thank you all for joining me here tonight. Thanks, Clarity. I love all the chat interaction, and happy thoughts for Nisei, in this week as he's getting ready to go on his adventure. And be safe, Nisei. Please be safe. So thanks for joining me tonight, and I hope you all have a fantastic week. So merry meet and merry part and merry meet again, and we will see you guys next weekend.
Lord, within the sun, as we will, so mote it be, the spell forever done.